Wouldn't it be awesome if you could give your kids just like one snack before dinner? Today, we're making 5 snacks that are gonna keep them satisfied until dinner time instead of somehow being hungrier than when they got home from school. We're starting with blender muffins. These are so good. Our kids love them. It's oats, bananas, peanut butter, chocolate chips, obviously the most important ingredient. The kids love making these with me. It's like an after school activity. They come home and they put the ingredients in. So we've got bananas. These can be super fresh bananas or bananas on their way out. We've got a nut milk of choice. Today I'm using soy milk because it has extra protein in it. Rolled oats, maple syrup as the sweetener. We are using peanut butter today because I'm not sending these to school. These are an after school snack. If you were gonna send these to school, you could try subbing out with sun butter or you could use tahini. And then in here I've got all my like dry ingredients. I've got salt, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon. Cinnamon is kind of one of the main flavors in here. And then I'm gonna blend everything except the chocolate chip. So I've got my blender full, I've got my oven preheated, I've got my muffin tin muffin lined. I'm gonna ramp from 1 to 10 and blend on high speed, just about for 30 seconds. I want those oats to break down, but I don't want the batter to get too hot because we've done that before and it melts the chocolate chips, which is not friendly for children. All right, so 1 up to 10. All right, don't be scared to use your tamper. I've never needed to use my tamper in this recipe before, but it needed a little push and that's okay. The bananas were at a weird angle and that just happened. So I always keep my tamper right there for scenarios like that. I'm gonna hand mix in the chocolate chips. These are dairy-free, nut-free, like one of those chocolate chips that have all the school allergens or whatever, but you can use any chocolate chips. And then I'm just gonna hand mix in the chocolate chips, which is obviously the kids' favorite part of helping me make these muffins. This is a good like 20-minute activity when they're helping. Like I just made this in 3 minutes, but when they're helping me, it takes like 20 or 30, which is very inefficient, but fun. Whoops. The intention was to put in 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We'll make sure that those ingredients are in the recipe on the Blending for Good playbook and linked in the comments here. You can make 12 smallish muffins, 9 kind of larger muffins, or 24 mini muffins with this recipe. I'm just gonna fill up the muffin tins and I'm gonna bake at 350 for 20 minutes. Okay, so we are making chocolate hummus, which my kids request in their lunches all the time, but it's also a really, really good afternoon snack. Feels like a treat to them. So I'm gonna use a can of cooked chickpeas. I'm gonna save the water from the can. This is called aquafaba. We use this magical liquid as an egg replacement. So I'm not even gonna rinse them. I'm going straight in. Coconut oil, you can skip that if you would like, and it will still be smooth, just not as like commercial grade smooth. I'm gonna put in just a tiny bit of salt because everything with chocolate tastes better with a little bit of salt. Big scoop of chocolate since this is chocolate hummus after all. I think I'm gonna do 2. Vanilla, because we want it to taste kind of like brownie batter. And then as a sweetener, I'm gonna use date syrup. If you guys like videos like this and you want more, it's super helpful to hit the like button, add comments, leave us a comment with like your biggest feeding children win. I'll leave the first one, give you a good one. But that helps us make more videos like this. So hit that like button. All right, blending up chocolate hummus. All right. The way that we serve it is with pretzels. Graham crackers would be delicious. So that's the consistency that we're looking for. Super smooth. I gotta wait to try those muffins, but I can try this one right now. All right, let's try it. I don't know that that's gonna cut it for my 3-year-old, so I'm gonna add a handful of chocolate chips in and blend again. That's gonna make it sweeter and more chocolatey. I can already smell that it's chocolatey-y. Chocolatey-y? That's not a word. I liked it before. Okay, definitely add the chocolate chips. If your kids are gonna eat it and not complain. You can't taste the chickpeas at all. I'm saying this in this tone of voice because I know your children are just like mine. All right, let's see. Of course, that's way better. All right, it's delicious, try it, yum. This, with pretzels, graham crackers, this should keep them full until dinner time. We're gonna make our blueberry balls, which are a fan favorite. They're one of our most popular recipes. The kids love them. We pack them for road trips. And I'm gonna make them in the Vitamix X4, which is what this guy is. It's a top of the line Vitamix. It's brushed stainless. And if it's something that like you wish you could buy a Vitamix through a real person, that's us. Type in blendingforgood.com, you'll find us. So we're gonna make blueberry balls in this guy. I'm actually gonna switch out the 48-ounce container for the food processor attachment. You can make it in the traditional container, but it's even easier in the food processor attachment. All right, so I have this set up like the traditional food processor with the blade at the bottom, and I'm gonna put in a cup of raw cashews, and we're gonna use maple syrup as the sweetener. That is vanilla, I'm gonna remember it this time, cinnamon. So I've got cashews, vanilla, cinnamon, maple, and then I'm gonna load in the dates. So I'm gonna press go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm looking to make like a paste. So this is perfect. Ding. All right, so once I have my paste, the next thing I'm gonna do is just pulse in the next ingredients because you want the texture. So, I've got a handful of slivered almonds. You can also do whole almonds because they're gonna get chopped up. Cup of oats. Okay, it smells so good already. If you were making this in the container, you would be pulsing these ingredients in. So you would be using this feature, the pulse, boop, boop, but because I'm doing it in the food processor, I'm just gonna process for a few seconds. 1, kind of like a pulse. 1. All right, so now I have kind of like a chopped texture, which is good. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. So it looks like this. And then I'm gonna hand mix in the blueberries. So because I'm making it in the food processor, I can just use this. I'm gonna dump in a half a cup of dried blueberries and mix those in. Oh, the kids are gonna be so excited when they get home from camp to eat these. All right, so I can just show you exactly how we're gonna do it. That's it. Hand roll, about a golf ball size. Try. So satisfying. It's like somehow creamy, but has chew. I didn't even get a blueberry in that bite, and it's still so yummy. They're gonna be thrilled. Today, we're doing just a basic strawberry banana smoothie. A smoothie can really fill you up, and if it's all made with healthy ingredients, we go hog wild on smoothies. We say, go ahead. If you're new to smoothies, you don't need to add any juice to it. We're using just whole fruit, and that's gonna make it sweet. It's gonna make it filling, it keeps that fiber in. Secondly, because it's frozen fruit, I'm using 1 frozen peeled and sliced banana and 1 cup of frozen strawberries. I don't need to water it down with any ice. So I'm gonna do about a 50-50 ratio here. I've got soy milk, which is one of the nut milks that's highest in protein, but you can use whatever milk you have on hand. And I'm also gonna use some yogurt. This one is a cashew vanilla yogurt, but you can use whatever yogurt you have on hand. Yogurt is a good source of protein. And I'm gonna use about half of this, which is probably about a half a cup. I'm putting my frozen fruit in, and then I've also got a tablespoon of hemp seeds here, which is one of the seeds that has the highest amount of protein per serving. You cannot taste them at all once they're blended up and in there, so your kids won't even know that they're there. You can add chia, you can add flax, you can add pumpkin seeds, and of course you can always add protein powder, but this one is just your basic smoothie. A few tricks, a handful of oats also works. I know a lot of the recipes we've made already today had oats, so we didn't add it to this one, but you can add oats as well. So because I'm using the Vitamix X4 and it has programs, I am gonna use the smoothie program on this one. So that's this little icon, and I'm gonna press go. You could just ramp it from 1 to 10 if you don't have programs on your machine. All right, this one's for me. Thick, creamy, perfect. You could always blend more if your kid is into less thick, but my kids like it like this. Strawberry, banana, high protein, without protein powder. I don't even know if I can drink this without a straw. Tell me you have kids without telling me you have kids. I have a whole drawer full of straws behind me. Yum. Creamy, fruity. All I taste is strawberry banana. I don't taste any of our other little tricks. No added processed anything, no added sugars, just sweet, delicious. Your kids will like this, I promise. We're gonna have the best of these recipes in our Blending for Good playbook. It's our like living, breathing recipe collection, and it's our guide. It's on our website, blendingforgood.com. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna make for a snack to keep your kids full until dinner is nut butter, banana pizza style. I'm using whatever nuts I have on hand today. I have cashews and peanuts. You could use almonds, you could use sunflower seeds. It's really one of those wing it recipes. 1.5 cups of peanuts. Basically, the only parameter is that there has to be 3 cups in here so that the blender can do its thing. Some maple, because I'm gonna make maple cinnamon nut butter today. We've got tons of different recipes for nut butters on our website, Blending for Good. One of my favorites is our monkey butter. It uses dried bananas. We've got maple walnut cinnamon one that like makes my mouth water when I think about it. It is so good. It uses dried apples. I just put in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Measure with your heart. This is definitely a tamper recipe. So tamper is your friend, tamper is a tool. With nut butters, you're going to use the tamper and push from the corners down into the center of the blade. You should not need any oil. There's enough like natural oils in nuts to be able to do this without any oil, but you do need to push the ingredients down into the blade. I'm going to blend on high. That is what makes the Vitamix work. Lenny likes to talk about it like it's a high performance car. Like a Lamborghini is made to drive fast. You can't like drive it slow. It's not made to drive slow. A Vitamix is made to be on level 10. That's when the cooling systems kick in and all of that. So it might sound a little scary the first time that you're making a nut butter, but believe me, any Vitamix that you have can handle this task. It is made to make nut butter. So I'm gonna blend this up, show you how we serve it, try those muffins. So ramping from 1 up to 10. And then pushing from the corners. nice sound. It's doing its job. Almost there. All right, once you hear that kind of chugging sound, it means I'm done, I made nut butter. I told you we were gonna make banana pizzas with this. So the way we do that is we cut bananas into little slices like this. And then I put a little dab of peanut butter, or in this case, maple cinnamon cashew peanut butter. Oh, hey, did you spot the knife in the blender? Don't do that. The banana pizzas have 3 components: banana, nut butter of your making, and then some granola on top. For 2 out of 3 of my kids, this passes. One of them need a little extra flair, maybe a little more motivation to eat the banana pizzas. So I'm gonna put sprinkles on his. You do what you gotta do. Feeding my kids is really like marketing. Sometimes I rename something, like my detox salad is mama salad, stuff like that. I feel like serving it in a way that looks appetizing to them is really important, and I am not loving this presentation. What are those eggs? Deviled eggs is what it looks like on the, look at that. Doesn't that kind of look more like I'm being served cake? All right, to be honest, bananas, plain bananas are not my favorite fruit, but I feel like in this presentation with granola and sprinkles and our homemade nut butter, like I can get a banana down. The nut butter is really good. It's cinnamony and mapley. You've got great textures going on here. Your kids are gonna like these. I promise. I gotta try these muffins. I've been waiting for them to cool on the back counter. I got 12 out of these. I'm gonna take the biggest one because my kids aren't here to take it. That's good. They peeled perfectly. Open it up. Chocolate chippies. That's all they care about. My kids ask for these every single day after school. Can we have chocolate chip muffins? Can we have chocolate chip muffins? Little do they know. Yum. I never get one of these because we have 3 kids and they make 12. So we have 4 days worth of muffins and I never get to try them. They're so good. All right, team. Thank you for watching. Please tell your friends and colleagues about our work. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.